The death of Osiris was not the end. It was the spark that ignited the greatest war in ancient Egyptian mythology. With the king of the gods gone, his treacherous brother Set, the god of chaos, deserts, and storms, seized the throne of Egypt through brute force and cunning. The land fell under a dark shadow, ruled by a god who thrived on disorder. But what Set didn't know was that a challenger was growing in secret, far from his sight. Isis, Osiris's devoted wife, had hidden their son, Horus, deep in the papyrus swamps of the Nile Delta. He was no longer the vulnerable child Set had tried to hunt down. He was a god, fueled by a singular purpose, to avenge his father and reclaim the kingdom that was stolen from him. The stage was set for a divine confrontation that would shape the destiny of Egypt forever. When Horus finally emerged from the shadows, he was a formidable sight, a powerful falcon-headed god, radiating divine authority. He confronted his uncle, Set, and the clash was immediate and cataclysmic. This wasn't a single, straightforward battle. It was a long, grueling war that raged for 80 years. It was a series of epic duels, cunning trials, and magical contests, with the very soul of Egypt hanging in the balance. This conflict was more than just a family feud. It was a cosmic struggle between two opposing forces. Horus represented order, justice, and the divine right to rule, the very principles that held civilization together. Set, on the other hand, embodied chaos, violence, and the wild, untamed forces of nature. Their war was a living metaphor for the eternal struggle to maintain balance in the universe. The battles between them were legendary, shaking the heavens and the earth. In one famous account, their animosity was so intense that they transformed into massive beasts to fight. They battled as ferocious animals across the land, through the skies, and in the waters of the Nile. In a particularly brutal duel, they took the form of two giant hippopotami, battling beneath the waves. During this relentless conflict, Set managed to gain an upper hand. In a moment of savage violence, he lunged at Horus and tore out his left eye. This wasn't just a physical injury, it was a deeply symbolic act. The eye of Horus, often associated with the moon, represented cosmic balance, protection, and the sacred order of the universe. When Set ripped it out, it symbolized chaos gaining a temporary but terrifying victory over harmony. The world itself seemed to teeter on the brink of collapse. But Horus, though wounded, was not defeated. His spirit was unbreakable. The gods, seeing the cosmic imbalance, knew this could not stand. It was Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom, magic, and knowledge, who intervened. Using his profound wisdom and powerful magic, Thoth meticulously pieced the shattered eye back together. He didn't just heal it, he made it whole and even more powerful than before. This restored eye, known as the Wajet or the Eye of Horus, became one of the most potent symbols in all of ancient Egypt. It represented healing, restoration, wholeness, and divine protection against evil. It was a powerful reminder that even after a period of darkness and destruction, order and light could be restored. Stronger than ever, Horus was whole again, his resolve hardened, and he was ready to continue the fight. Despite Horus's resilience, defeating Set was no simple task. The god of chaos was cunning and incredibly powerful. He refused to yield the throne. The conflict had dragged on for so long, and with no clear winner, the other gods decided they had to intervene directly. The dispute was brought before the Ennead, the great council of the 9 most powerful gods, presided over by the sun god Ra himself. The divine trial began. Set, ever the brute, argued his case based on strength. He claimed that Horus was too young and inexperienced to rule, while he possessed the raw power necessary to protect Egypt from its enemies. Horus, on the other hand, argued his case based on legitimacy. He was the son and rightful heir of Osiris. His claim was one of bloodline, justice, and divine inheritance. The gods were divided. For years, they debated and held contests to test the two contenders. Set, using his trickery, often managed to turn the trials in his favor, leading to more and more stalemates. The indecision of the gods left Egypt in a state of prolonged uncertainty. The cosmic balance remained precarious. Finally, unable to reach a verdict, the gods decided to seek judgment from a source beyond their own counsel. They sent a letter to the one being whose authority was absolute, Osiris, now the revered king of the Duat, the underworld. From his throne in the realm of the dead, Osiris's response was swift and unequivocal. He asked the gods a simple, powerful question: why has my son not been placed upon his throne? His verdict was clear. Horus was the rightful king of Egypt. Faced with the undeniable judgment of Osiris and the unified will of the gods, Set's claim finally crumbled. He was forced to concede. He was cast out, but not destroyed. The Egyptians understood that chaos, the force Set represented, could never be truly eliminated from the universe. It was a fundamental part of existence. Instead, Set was relegated to a new role of force to be kept in check. He was tasked with protecting the sun, god Ra's solar barge, as it journeyed through the treacherous underworld each night, defending it from the serpent of darkness, Apep. Chaos would always exist, but it would no longer rule. With his uncle finally defeated and his claim validated, Horus ascended to the throne of Egypt. His coronation was a moment of profound cosmic significance. Order had triumphed over chaos. The principle of truth, balance, and cosmic harmony was restored. The victory of Horus was more than just a personal or political triumph. It reshaped the very foundation of Egyptian kingship. From that moment on, every pharaoh who ruled Egypt was considered the living embodiment of Horus on earth. The crown they wore was not merely a symbol of political power, but a divine mandate, connecting them directly to the gods. The pharaoh was the Horus king, tasked with maintaining and protecting Egypt from the forces of disorder, just as Horus himself had done. The epic war between Horus and Set became more than just a myth told round firesides. It became a central pillar of Egyptian civilization, a national story that explained the nature of the world and the divine duty of their king. It was an eternal reminder that balance is fragile and must be constantly defended, sometimes against the darkest of forces, even by the gods themselves. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into Egyptian mythology, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more stories from the ancient world.